You know, the holidays are supposed to be joyful, but they can also be overwhelming for anyone who might be dealing with grief. Marcus Hurt from BJC Behavioral Health is here to help us understand why the holidays, can be a bigger struggle for some people, and also he's here to help us kind of work through this season. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I do think the holidays can be hard, especially for someone who may have lost a loved one. How do you help people address grief?
Well, grief is a very difficult thing to process because it's very individualistic. Everybody's going to experience it differently, especially with the family member that may have passed. Everybody's going to have a very unique relationship with that person, which means that their experiences are going to be different. Their grief is going to be different.
Yeah.
So be open to communicate. Talk to your family. Ask them, what do you feel comfortable talking about? What do you not want to talk about? And it's okay to give yourself some grace and say, maybe I'm not ready to have that communication. Maybe I'm not ready to really talk about it. And then extend that grace to your family members as well, because they may not necessarily be at the same place you are.
Yeah, and I do think the holidays can be overwhelming because everyone's supposed to be happy and cheerful. Yes. And then that adds extra pressure, for you to be happy as well. It's not fair.
Yeah, and not to sound cliche, but it is not the most wonderful time of year for a lot of people. And because of that, that's something that we need to take into consideration when we communicate with people, is asking them, what do you want to remember about this person that has passed? There were certain significant things about where that person used to sit in the home, the things they used to bring for food. There may be things that they, want to remember specifically about them, and we can always bring that up as a family. We can communicate about that before the actual family event actually happens. Take that time to put a plan together so that you know what you want to experience, and give people an exit. Let them know that if you're not comfortable, if you're not okay with talking about this, it's okay if you don't stay.
Oh, that's actually wonderful. And it does feel like if you've lost someone, that whole first year, the year of firsts.
Yes.
Is hard. So, I have a dear friend who lost her dad, back in the spring. And so this is the year of first for her. And I experienced that when I lost my mom. So it's really tough, because you just see that person missing in your holiday meals.
Yeah, take care of yourself. I know a lot of people here, whenever you're on an airplane with the oxygen masks fall, put it on yourself before you help other people. And that's a great analogy for self-care. You can't take care of somebody else if you can't physically or metaphorically breathe in that situation. So take the time for yourself, take care of yourself, and make sure that you're able to do things for others.
Yeah, I love that. That is a very good reminder. If there are kids in the mix somewhere, how do we explain grief to kids, and how do we do that as we're dealing with, what's going around the Christmas tree or Hanukkah or whatever?
Right. Having conversation with kids is really more about just listening. Let them express themselves. They're going to have a lot of questions. They're going to have a lot of concerns. They're going to have feelings and thoughts that they don't understand. And let them express themselves, listen to what they have to say, and then be okay saying to them, you know what, I don't know. I don't have an answer. And allow them to process that with you. Learn about how to deal with those things together so that you can grow at the same time.
If you find yourself struggling, right, and maybe you find yourself struggling a little longer than what feels acceptable. I mean, we know that grief is not linear.
Sure.
But at the same time, there's a point when people kind of feel, where you feel like, oh, I probably should be moving on faster. What's the advice that you can give folks?
Right. Well, like I mentioned before, be sure to give yourself grace in those situations. But if you do feel like that you are not progressing the way that you want to, or a family are showing concern, please go out and seek professional help and advice. BJC Behavioral Health has many different ways that we can help individuals dealing with grief and loss, help you go through those stages of grief, and process something in a way that's going to help you to advance back into your normal life.
Do you have any, quick tips for anyone who might be dealing with grief and it's like, okay, take a breather, or, do something that kind of takes you out of a loop?
Oh. Something quick.
To put you on the spot, sorry.
No, it's okay. We all are supposed to be having coping skills of some sorts, and if you have something that helps you to smile, a song that you remember, something about the holidays that kind of takes you away from the process of grieving, use that. Put it in your back pocket, metaphorically. Have your phone ready to go with a funny video or a song, or if you have photos of that person that you want to share or look at, it is perfectly okay to feel those feelings. It's perfectly okay to cry. Family members are probably going to be just as upset as you are, so let yourself feel those feelings.
Oh, Marcus, thank you so much. That
Absolutely.
is very helpful. In fact, I get kind of emotional thinking about, all the things that we love so big.
Yeah.
We miss people so much. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Really appreciate it.